So William, do you want a tall bearded?
Excuse me, I'm already taken.
We're talking tall bearded iris next on Garden Time.
Welcome to Garden Time, and although we adore Steve Schreiner, we were actually talking about this tall-bearded iris, which is the new introduction of Garden Time from Schreiner's Iris Garden.
But later in the show, I will be talking to that other tall-bearded guy, Steve Schreiner, about all the happenings going on this weekend at Schreiner's Iris Garden.
Coming up on the show today, we're also going to be showing you some inviting vines.
We'll also be planting some sedums.
But coming up first, beautiful peonies at Adelman's. Well, I'm actually sitting here in Peony Paradise. I'm with Carol, and this is your beautiful place, and it is stunning as usual. So let's have a little conversation about some peonies and about the display gardens and what's going on, shall we?
Well, the warm is finally here, so the peonies are blooming like crazy.
They are.
And so we hope that people will come sooner so that they can enjoy them, because you never know what this weather is doing.
Yeah, that's true. And I do have to ask you, Carol, you know, so many of us are worried about winter effect, but really for peonies, the cold, that didn't bother them at all, did it?
Oh, they love the cold. They grow fine up in Wisconsin and up into Canada.
Yeah.
And they love the cold winters, so that works out well for them.
So tell me some things that we have gone over so many times we here at the show with you, but let's just reiterate a few of the things that really people always ask but need to pay attention to, because there's not a lot of effort that goes in to maintaining these beauties, is there?
Right. Well, peonies, they're shallow planted. They're perennials that live many years happy in one place. They don't like sitting in water, so drainage and air circulation are things that you need to think about. We do recommend light fertilization with tulip daffodil bulb fertilizer.
Okay.
And as you've seen them in cemeteries, they can grow on their own for years and years
Right.
without a whole lot of care. There's a wives' tale about ants, and the ants are just there because the plant sends sugar up to the bud to help it grow and develop, and so if it sends too much, it goes to the outside of the bud, and the ants are like the kids.
Yeah.
They're there for the sugar. When the sugar's gone, they're gone. If you want to cut a flower and take it in the house without ants, then you can slush the flower head in a bowl of water and the ants will float off and
Yeah.
you're good to go.
And that really, I mean, you know, you get a lot of input from different people, especially if you go Google and stuff, but really, it doesn't take a lot of pruning. It doesn't take a lot of spraying. They're a really simple plant to maintain.
Right. And people today drew to my attention that they're deer resistant. And so if you have a lot of forest around your place and you have deer, it's a wonderful plant to have.
To have there, and then you're open now, but let's talk about maybe a specific kind of time frame of when you think these will all be popping still. Is it a week, 2 weeks maybe?
Oh, it's hard to say because of the sun, but come any time right away, because they're just popping in mass in the field and the display garden. So wonderful time to come.
So Carolyn, of course we all love the display gardens, but you have acres and acres of blooming peonies. About how many do you think?
Oh, we have 27 acres of peonies.
Wow. And you're completely comfortable if people come out here, if they want to walk around out through them, that's okay with you?
Yes, that's fine.
And then I love coming out here not only for the beauty of the display gardens, but you still have peonies for sale as well, right?
Yes, we have cut flowers that have been in the cooler, and we have potted plants that you can take home and transfer to your garden.
And there's still in the warehouse area this beautiful display of
Yes,
cut blooms, which
right.
takes your breath away every time you see them. So that's going to happen for how much longer, you think?
Oh, we're open through June 11th this year, so we'll have flowers in the cooler we can bring out for people to see, even if they're done in the garden.
Wonderful,
But
wonderful.
they can bring their picnic lunch and enjoy.
Well, there you have it. Now look, you know, time passes, it does, but there's a chance that you can come out and see these amazing plants, one of the easier perennials to grow with such beauty. Take a look at the cut flowers, spend some time here, have some lunch, and certainly if you have a chance, talk to Carol because she's hysterical. For more information on this wonderful place, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Carol, always a delight. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
You deserve the best, so at Capital Subaru, we make sure you're getting the best experience at every touch point. Award-winning customer service, a wide selection of new Subarus to choose from, 2 years complimentary service on all new vehicles, and perks you'll only find at Capital Subaru. Start your next adventure on the Parkway.
Take a vacation from car payments this spring. Find your ideal Subaru at Capital and make no payments for 120 days or get 0% APR for 60 months on all new Subarus in stock.
Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
The health and beauty of your garden starts from the ground up, and healthy soils begin at Grimm's Fuel. For the best in garden mulch, blended soils, and bark dust, choose Grimm's. U-Haul delivered or installed, Grimm's can do it. And if you're looking for a new lawn, Grimm's can do that too with our special lawn installation service. Grimm's is also the area's largest recycler of yard debris. The foundation for a healthy garden begins at Grimm's Fuel.
For over 100 years, Collier Arbor Care and Bartlett Tree Experts have provided tree and shrub care services to the Portland metropolitan area.
From large tree and small shrub pruning, tree removal, and stump grinding, we can handle all your tree care needs.
Our arborists diagnose and treat your toughest insect and disease problems.
We also have organic solutions for growing and maintaining healthy gardens, as well as organic nutrition for your trees and shrubs.
Collier and Bartlett, environmentally friendly since 1907.
DRAM is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. DRAM products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. DRAM for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
Over the 30 years that our family has been in the nursery industry, we've learned that anyone can supply a customer with plants and garden supplies. But it's supplying those plants and supplies backed by a knowledgeable staff that can transform a garden and take it from ordinary to extraordinary. That's what we do at Sagawa Nursery. Why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? Sagawa Nursery, growing beyond the ordinary.
Well, this is a holiday weekend, but it is a special weekend. We're at Garden Time Nursery with Patty Harris, but she is a part of a wonderful nursery group called the Cascade Nursery Trail. Hi, Patty.
Hi.
So this is a great weekend for all of the people that participate in this trail.
It is. You know, the weather has turned so lovely and we're all ready to get out and plant.
Ah, that is great. And so we're talking about one of the first stops. And so tell me what you're offering today.
Well, today I chose a few plants that butterflies really love. This is Agara. It's a compact version. It's part of the Beliza series.
Nice.
And so this one has a nice white bloom. It works wonderfully in a container as well as in the garden. It's well behaved, and if you do a little deadheading on the stems, it'll bloom all summer long.
Nice.
There's also, we have a pink version of the same thing, nice red stems. These love the heat, and once they're established, they're really drought tolerant.
Oh, I love it. And they're just so different, but it'd be nice to have both of them, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And then what's this one?
That one is Solidago Fireworks. And as far as greenery, it might not be the most stunning thing, but once it blooms, it's amazing. It has bursts of beautiful vivid yellow sprays of bloom. It's deer resistant.
Nice.
It loves the heat, drought tolerant once again. And if you have dahlias or things that bloom later in the summer, it makes a great filler in those bouquets as well.
Ah.
Holds up really well as a cut flower.
Very nice. And in the garden, what a nice companion plant to those. And then a variegated foliage. I love variegated foliage.
This one is Eupatorium pink frost. This is Eupatorium is also known as Joe Pye weed, and a lot of the Joe Pye weed traditionally, when we think of that, they're huge and they run and they require a lot of water. This one is a bit more compact.
Nice.
It's only about 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide. So far it has not taken over and been a real heavy runner, but the variegated foliage is lovely during the summer, and then late summer into the fall is when you get those beautiful dark pink buds, and then it gets to be a little paler pink blossom as they open and hold. The birds love them.
Oh, that is pretty. And I've noticed bees on the other one, so that's really a great for pollinators.
Yeah.
So is there a website to visit for all the information about the Cascade Nursery Trail?
It's cascadenurserytrail.com, and there you can find a listing of the individual nurseries, as well as the schedule of events that we hold together. And we'd love for you to come out and take a tour.
Fun weekend. Well, now I'm going to pass it to William, who's at another member of this wonderful tour. Take it away, William, at Seabright Gardens.
Well, it is a real delight for me to be here with Kirk, and we are at Seabright Hosta. And you guys have so many amazing plants, first of all, so it's always delightful to come out here. But today we're going to specifically talk about some troubled areas in our garden, right?
Yeah, that would be great.
So tell me, first of all, let's talk about those and then see what
trouble
we do
areas, areas that are dry or have a lot of root competition.
Which could happen in sun or shade, isn't that true?
Exactly, absolutely. Yeah.
And so what is your thought though when you say those are troubled areas? I get why that would be a trouble, but you got to tell me, you've got plants here, but how would that help to plant them in the ground there? That doesn't seem like solving the problem.
Well, one thing, let's go to this plant first.
Okay.
This Heucherella, it's crossed between a Tiarella and a Heuchera, and the nice thing about it is in the gardens, we have it in our gardens underneath a very large fir tree, and it has a lot of root competition from the fir roots. Our native plants here, because of our summer dry, they send up a lot of fibrous roots, which create a lot of competition. So this is one plant that's been able to compete well with the tree roots and in the garden, and it has fairly attractive flowers like the Tiarella type flower, but the foliage, it has more of a Heuchera type foliage.
So then let me understand, Kirk, you're not saying that there aren't plants that can tolerate and exist in these bad conditions, but there's a way that you have come up with that really is much simpler to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is that way of doing it?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. So, well, one way we do as well is plants in pots.
And you have a lovely selection. There's 3 different pots here.
Yes.
All 3 different sizes, but when you come down and look, it really looks like this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
not that it's
a great
easy
look,
fix
isn't
or
it?
anything. This is the
it adds
stunning
more
part.
Texture and form in the garden. And,
yeah.
And if you have a trouble spot that is hard to plant in the ground, a pot works great. This fern here is Cristata the King. It's a golden scale male fern. The botanical is Doropterus affinis cristata the King. So,
wow. And then you've also brought hostas out, because I'm assuming that would do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We have this hosta. Both of these are fairly sun tolerant hostas. They're shade tolerant as well. And this one here in the garden over there, it's doing really well in the sun right now, even though it has blue on it. Once it gets up above 100, it's going to burn a little bit.
Sure.
But
we all do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it handles the sun quite well. It's very attractive.
And Kirk,
the slugs have a tough time.
All of these plants you're going to have available on this tour, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So people can come out here and then ask more questions, and then actually walk around and see a lot of these different pots in trouble areas of a garden.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much, Kurt. Here's just another stop you can visit, and then when you're done here, I'm going to throw it back to Judy and find out another place you can go.
Well, I'm on Garden Time's final stop on the Cascade Nursery Trail, and I'm with Pat Thompson at the Secret Garden Growers. And Pat, you have such fantastic plants and a little bit unusual ones from some of the other nurseries that are included in the trail.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so what do you got with us?
Okay. First, I want to talk about this new mahogany. Everybody's familiar with Oregon grape, the prickly one that you can't touch that hurts you. This is a Mahonia eurobracteata soft caress. There's no stickers involved. It's a beautiful specimen plant. It's evergreen. It looks like this all winter, and it did all this winter, even as horrible as it was. It's about 3 feet It has a nice light yellow, lightly fragrant flower spike in late winter that the hummingbirds find. It's one of the first things to bloom. Really nice plant for shade, even in a pot.
Definitely. And this looks like parsley, but I know it isn't.
This is one of our weird plants. This is Farfugium Shishibotan. It likes shade also. It gets these little super curly frizzled leaves. They're easy to grow. They're evergreen if it stays warm. If it gets a little cooler, they will die back, but it's a real nice texture for a woodland garden.
Definitely.
And definitely different.
And these curly cues, man, my hair used to be like that when I was young, but really fun.
These are fun. These are Albuca spiralis, frizzle frazzle, and they are a bulbous perennial. They are reputedly hardy to zone 8, but we don't know for sure. They did survive 23 degrees in our greenhouse last year. But the drier they are and the sunnier they are, the curlier the foliage gets. Everybody likes to play with them. And they have a nice bloom all winter. This one's just finishing up. We had bloom spike after bloom spike all winter long.
Neat.
They're really beautiful flowers. They almost look like orchids, and they have a
do.
very nice fragrance as well.
Really cool. So maybe in a container and on the porch so you can
In a
really
container,
enjoy
or
them.
try it in a rock garden outside and see what happens and let us know.
And so a new Japanese Relia?
Yep. This is a Fatsia japonica. This is Fatsia japonica spider web.
Look at that.
It kind of has a nice white webbing. This likes full shade. It doesn't like any direct sun. It is evergreen, extremely hardy. I kept one in a pot this winter on the porch, and it did just fine even through our coldest cold. And I would actually call this deer proof. The deer hate this plant. So it's a tough, sturdy plant with kind of a tropical touch and a nice white webbing on the leaf all year long.
Very pretty. And so we were talking about prickly. Now this one is kind of prickly.
This one's very prickly. This is a fun plant. It's actually in the citrus family. Ponceras trifoliata, variety Monstera flying dragon. That's a mouthful. It's a really fun specimen plant. It's got these zigzag curvy stems. It has white citrus scented flowers, and it has little fruits if you're lucky. They're not edible, but they say they make good marmalade. You can kind of stake them up and get them to grow tall, or you can leave them short and you almost get kind of a bonsai look. And they're hardy enough to leave outdoors in a pot, so they make a wonderful specimen in a pot for the winter. Or if you have a teenage daughter, they're great underneath her bedroom window because they make an impenetrable hedge.
Well, good tips for all these plants from Pat. So now this weekend is the Cascade Nursery Trail. You can go online and look at this brochure, or you can pick it up at any of the nurseries that are on the tour. There's going to be 6. So please stop out this weekend. It's lots of fun. Different plants at every place. You got to stop at everyone. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you, Judy.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. Gardening makes for wonderful family time. Whether it's updating your landscape or planting a veggie garden, at Portland Nursery, our great selection and staff of professionals can help ensure your family's success. Visit portlandnursery.com for a list of our classes, events, or sign up for our newsletter. Portland Nursery, let our family help your family grow, at 50th and Stark or 90th and Division.
Since 1926, the Bonide Company has worked with homeowners to make their homes and gardens beautiful. If you have a garden problem, Bonide has the answer. Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew controls most common garden insects and is derived from a naturally occurring bacteria to help with your organic gardening. It's safe to use even on fruits and vegetables. Visit Bonide.com to find a local retailer and to download your free Bonide Problem Solver app for your iPhone or Droid.
Little Baja is your source for a whole lot of terracotta and concrete too. From bird baths and benches to Buddhas, bears, and fountains, plus the exclusive Baja chimney. We have an amazing variety of the finest in terracotta and concrete containers. Come check out our selection of statuary for any garden theme or setting. So for something for the garden, deck, or patio, come see us at Little Baja on East Burnside in Portland. Find us on Facebook too.
Why have a yard that looks like everyone else? French Prairie Perennials can give you something different by using our unique form of landscape design, visualscaping. We can give you a landscape as unique as you are. Focusing on year-round color and low maintenance allows you to relax and enjoy your yard all 12 months. On-site plant demonstrations allow you to see how beautiful your garden will look before you buy. Give us a call or stop by our retail location on weekends. French Prairie Perennials.
I am at Schreiner's Iris Garden with Steve Schreiner. And Steve, what a beautiful day to be out here.
Couldn't be better, Judy. I just can't believe it, and thanks so much for coming. It's nice to see you again.
It's so nice to see you, and thank you so much for naming this gorgeous iris after garden time.
Well, I wasn't for it for a while, but I got talked into it. So.
Well, we so appreciate it, and really that's one of the most beautiful irises. Of course, we're biased, but there's so many more, and this is the mini catalog. There's also a big catalog, plus all these lovely irises to come and look at and to order to take home. But Steve, to be serious here, we need to do something educational. So why is this called a bearded iris?
It's called a bearded iris because it has, everything in irises is in threes. 3 falls, 3 standards, and on the fall is a beard. And they think really its only role, it doesn't have a real major role, its only role they think is to attract insects.
Ah, well, but that's good that they're feeding the insect population, right?
That's right.
So that's a good thing.
That's very important.
But really you do iris, bearded iris, but you also do beardless iris, like the Siberian iris right behind us.
Exactly. We do also sell 2 pages in our catalog of beardless iris, Louisianas, which bloom next month here, native to the southeast part of the United States, and also Siberian iris, which bloom right now along with the bearded iris. And this is a beautiful white swirl variety that we have. Beardless iris, the culture is completely opposite of the bearded iris.
Oh, how so?
Beardless iris, they're heavier feeders. They want like moist soil in the growing season, and they want to be planted deeper. They're considered to have the most beautiful of all the iris leaves.
Wow.
And you can let them go 10 to 12 years before you dig them up and transplant them again.
Ah, so just remind us about the bearded iris care too.
Bearded care is just the opposite. It's a rhizome, so you plant it at the surface, so the top of the ground is even with it or just beneath the surface, the rhizome. Fertilize them with 5 or 6 10-10 a month before they bloom. The only time they need water generally is when you move them, because once they're established they don't need water. And when you plant them in the summer or fall, then you should water them once a week for at least 6 weeks. They don't want wet feet. They have drainage is really important for bearded iris, and then they need to be thinned, dug up, spaced out 18 inches apart. They'll go 3 to 4 years. Every 3 to 4 years. So.
Ah, but that's easy too. But it's so nice to have 2 different kinds in the garden. I think that's really beautiful.
Oh boy, I mean look at the variety in this garden.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Not only different irises, but all these companion plants, and that's what people say they love so much about our gardens is what our brother has done is he's put all of these different companion plants in here, so it isn't just monoculture.
Right, and speaking of companion plants, you are also going to be carrying a very special group of daylilies.
That's right. We're going back to daylilies after being out of them for about 40 years, and we're going to be featuring outstanding daylilies by the award-winning hybridizer Bill Marriott of California, and we have gorgeous daylilies that we are going to be starting with this year, and they're going to make a great addition to our garden because, of course, daylilies bloom at the time of the year when there isn't a lot of other colors. So.
Right. And Steve, really, this is the weekend to come out, Memorial Day weekend.
Exactly. Memorial Day weekend this year is going to be, there's usually 3 good weekends in a 6-week bloom season, and this is going to be weekend number 2. This will probably be the fullest of the bloom weekend. It's also the weekend, Memorial Day that is, where the one event is that we have. It's a barbecue and a music, a jazz in the afternoon.
Nice.
And so it's an afternoon affair, but the whole weekend we're going to have wine tasting, liqueur tasting, an art fair, demonstration on digging up and separating iris, and so there's really something for everyone, and it's really fun to see a lot of the same old friends come back every year.
We always try to come for garden time, and we see so many viewers and so many old friends too. But I think that we also have to bring our cameras, bring our family and friends, and take lots of pictures, because this is like photo op city.
I know, I have a camera right behind me here. I just can't go to work without a camera, because you just never know when you're going to see, well, a relative working, for example. That's worth taking a picture of. So.
Well, none of my relatives are working here, but I will take pictures of your relatives, which are dear friends. But really, please go to gardentime.tv, and we'll click you over to the Schreiner's Iris Garden website, and you can see all the information about today's events and about all that's going on, and how to get into also order some iris. Steve, so thanks so much, and have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Judy. It's great to see you again.
Since 1982, the Wall has been making local gardens beautiful, naturally. Whether you need a new wall, concrete patio, fire pit, or driveway, the Wall's expert craftsmen can build it. We back up our work with a 5-year warranty, so you'll know it'll last. We use the highest quality materials, including stamped colored concrete, natural stone, and we're the leader in using recycled concrete. Create an outdoor environment you'll enjoy for years, with the help of your friends at The Wall. Peonies, bold and beautiful, an old favorite, but ever new, and perfect for your garden. At Adelman Peonies, you'll find hundreds of different peonies, bush, ito, and tree peonies covering 20 acres. Come stroll the display garden, then find a special plant or bouquet to take home. Join us any day of the week for beautiful color, or weekends for special events. Adelman Peonies is just east of I-5 at exit 263 on Brook Lake Road, or online at peonyparadise.com. Subaru Garden Days returns to Capital Subaru in Salem. Join us for a day of food, fun, and garden excitement. Select garden vendors join William and Judy on the Parkway from 11 to 3. That's Subaru Garden Days, June 3rd at Capital Subaru. Your way on the Parkway.
When you plant your flower baskets and containers this year, consider Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix for the best results. This worm castings-enriched, well-drained potting soil has a controlled release fertilizer to feed your plants up to 6 months. Black Gold All-Purpose Potting Mix now contains resilience for enhanced plant growth. Available at garden centers everywhere. For more information, visit blackgold.bz. All the riches of the earth.
No matter what shade your green thumb is, you can find the plants and the help you need at Wavra Farms. We're filled with an astounding array of colorful plants to fill your garden. In addition to wonderful annuals and perennials, we are known for our hanging baskets. We also have all your garden essentials, and we have great garden gifts too. From beginner to expert, you'll find something new and different with every visit. Wavra Farms, located off Highway 22, exit 5, east of Salem.
Well, anybody that knows me knows that when I think of clematis, I think of Linda Butler. How are you, Linda?
Great.
So we are standing in someplace new since we've been here recently, and it's lovely. Tell me about it.
This is what we call the modern garden. All the clematis that are planted here were bred and introduced after World War II.
Oh, wow.
They're clematis that don't fit into any other niche, because you've been in the Polish gardens,
Right.
You've been in the Japanese garden, we've covered the Founder's Garden, which were Brewster's favorites. The Heirloom Garden, we've talked about that numerous times, but these are the guys that don't fall into any other niche, so we've grouped them all together. The large flowered hybrids are here in order of color, and then we also have 5 rows that are dedicated to Raymond Evison,
Oh, really?
the great English breeder who comes out with 10 more every year, whether we need them or not.
So all of these would be named, and all of these people can walk through here now
Right.
and actually see these, especially
Right.
when they're in full bloom, and see exactly what the colors are, the shapes, all of that.
Right. So when they come to me with their rows saying, I want a clematис to match this,
Yeah.
I can say, go, enjoy.
Yeah. and pick that
Find
out.
it. And
Well,
then,
let's
Yeah.
take a walk to it. We have some more to look at, don't we?
yes, we have some stuff that is brand new, really new, and scented.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Scented. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust you because I love you, but let's walk over there and
okay,
take a chance,
okay.
all right? All right, I'm going to trust you, but I'm so excited. These are the fragrant clematis, right?
Right. We have two here. We have sugar sweet lavender and sugar sweet blue. And I know that sounds like a cherry tomato name.
It does.
Get over it. These were bred in Holland, so there's something's lost in translation, you know.
Yeah.
But they have used a species that imbues large flowered hybrids with fragrance. So these aren't, of course, very large flowers, but they have that flat up face that we think of as large flowered.
Linda, let's just be honest though. This is such a new thing. These have such a lovely fragrance. But I cannot tell that there's even a difference. It's amazing to me that these two are different fragrances too, which,
yeah.
I mean, we get tired of smelling the same fragrance.
So what does it smell like to you?
This smells like Cestrum nocturnum, the night blooming jasmine. The minute I smelled it, I went, oh my goodness, that unbelievably delightful and beautiful blooms just by themselves.
So these are patented plants. We don't have a license to propagate them, so we can't sell them to anybody. But we get them through Brushwood Nursery in Georgia, which is a mail order nursery.
Lovely.
So we don't propagate everything that we have.
Right.
I mean, this is a collection. The mission is educational. But if we don't have it available, we can 9 times out of 10 tell you where to get it. And that's the great part of this garden. Before you make the big commitment to buy something mail order, you can come out here,
check
you
it out,
can see it, and smell it.
And this would be a great day to do that because today is the Inviting Vines Tour, isn't it?
It's our 10-year anniversary
yeah.
of having our fundraising garden tour. So we have 4 private gardens, greatest hits, and we'll have clematis for sale here. Some of the clematis that you see for sale at the gardens will be available at one of the gardens on the west side in Beaverton. So there's 2 places to shop. If you want to buy tickets, you can get them. You can go online and see all of our locations. But Al's, Diggs on Alberta, 3 of the gardens are in Northeast Portland. So Garden Fever.
And we should
all
also
those
say
places.
that the Mike Darcy thing is sold out. So
Right.
don't be driving in to get to that.
We did have a pre-event this morning, breakfast with Mike Darcy, sold out. So come at 10.
Don't do that now.
Yeah, don't come out for that.
But you can still come out and love Mike Darcy when you see him.
Yeah.
So now for more information on all of this, on the tour, on the new areas, on just looking at this exquisite garden, you can go to gardentime.tv. We're going to click you over to their website. You can gather up some information, make sure you make it out here, and then start your beautiful vines tour. Thank you so much, my friend. Always lovely to see you.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
Create a beautiful living space both inside and out with the help of Terra Casa.
Outside, you'll find pottery, fountains, and decor to make your garden unforgettable.
And inside, there are home furnishings and just the right accents to make your home warm, inviting, and most importantly, comfortable.
Terra Casa has a huge selection of merchandise to fit any home or budget. Plus, we still have all the unique and distinctive gifts that you have come to expect from Terra Casa.
Terra Casa in downtown Damascus.
The irises are blooming. The Schreiner's Iris Display Gardens are now open and free to the public. Surround yourself with a rainbow of color of over 500 irises. Or take a stroll in our 10-acre display garden. Smell the fragrance as you see iris paired with other beautiful blooming plants. Check out our cut flower display and pick up something for that iris lover in our gift shop. Take home a cut flower bouquet or order some for your own garden. We are easy to find. Take the Brooks exit off I-5 and follow the signs.
Dram is celebrating 75 years of design and manufacturing of quality watering tools. Dram products feature 9 water patterns and are designed to nurture your plants with a shower of rain. Dram for lawn and garden, available at garden centers near you.
I'm at Little Baja in East Burnside today, and you know, there's a little construction going on, but it's not going to stop us talking about cool sedums and succulents. And I'm with Jared, and Jared, you have not only pottery, but you have plants now to put in that pottery.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we've always carried a nice assortment of succulents, just to, you know, kind of this and that to really tie in that certain space of yours.
And I think they go great with your pottery, because I think they just look nice in the terracotta or the natural concrete. It just adds something to that container.
Certainly. Well, you know, we always talk about how good terracotta is. It's especially good for succulents, cactus, things like that. It breathes, help promote that healthy root system.
Yeah, it helps with that drainage. So are there any kind of rules, do you think, with sedums and succulents to make it look so attractive?
Well, I've always followed a rule by working with odd numbers.
Okay.
3s and 5s always go good. Kind of just, I don't know. Also, you know, contrast. You know, get some different colors in there, and repetition. That kind of pulls it all together.
I also like all the different textures, and look, and even this one is blooming, and that really adds an element too.
Sure, it's on fire. It's on parade here, and it's interesting as you get more used to it. You know, you'll kind of figure out each plant and what's so special about it. And,
wonderful.
And yeah.
So Jared, we're going to pot this one up in a few minutes, but I see that you have some really unique small pots, so how could we use those?
Oh, we sure do. We have these nice little cubes in various sizes.
Very cool.
We have little wall pockets you can hang on the wall, and those really make a nice touch. But yeah, one's an odd number as well, so it's a good one to do. Something like this is real simple. You know, basically get that in there.
Oh, not even plant it, just put the pot in there.
It's either way. That's fine there, just like that. And just to keep it simple today, and then we'll put dress it up here.
Excellent. And then what about these little kind of statues and things? We could add those too?
See, that's the fun part. And well, it's all fun. But it's sure nice adding the finishing touches.
Yeah, and maybe this little bridge?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And we could add more stones if we need to. Very nice.
Simple.
And then, so what kind of soil would we use in this bigger pot?
Certainly. You know, a lot of folks would just pick out a bag of pre-mix, like cactus or succulent mix. I happen to have some regular old potting soil and a bag of perlite, so I just mix it half and half just to kind of get that really good drainage.
All right, let's get that up here.
Excellent.
All right, and put it in.
Awesome, it's all pre-mixed here.
Okay. And so it's just like planting any other container. You want to fill it up. Well, that mix of perlite and soil is really going to help with the drainage for these plants.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So we picked out 3 sedums and hens and chicks that really look nice. Tell me a little bit about them.
Well, this had some nice color. It's just really vibrant, and it would be a good, if it was a more centerpiece, you could put it in the middle, or you could put it back toward the side.
All right.
If you, kind of depends on where you're planning on placing it.
I like that it's so tall, plus it's that blue-green. That's really, really pretty.
I think that'll contrast nice with this guy.
And look at that red, and that's the one with the flowers. So we're gonna make a little hole for that one. And that's gonna go right on the side there, all right. And then the last one is hens and chicks.
Yeah, and this one has all kinds of babies coming out.
Yeah, look at that, that is just great. And so what kind of sunlight will we put this in?
You know, they really do best with the 4 or 5 hours of that morning sunlight.
Okay.
A lot of folks tend to think that they really need a lot of sun all day, but you know, that scorching midday sun can be a little harsh. Some will do better than others, you know, like cactus are usually fine, but 4 or 5 hours of sunlight towards the morning hours would be ideal.
And you could let them dry out between watering?
Most definitely. I think that's probably the most important thing, is that it drains out completely between waterings, and maybe once a week, every 2 weeks, you're gonna kind of figure out your feel. You know, you don't want those, it's just too damp all the time.
Definitely. So really, this is such an easy project to do, and we did talk about that construction earlier, but is it going to be difficult for people to get here?
You know, we're excited. We have a little bit more safe, secure parking. You don't necessarily have to park on the side street here anymore. We have a parking lot on 15th and Ankeny. This is gated, real easy.
Oh, that is nice. Well, you know, you have to come down, you get your pottery, you can also get plants and get some lots of ideas for some containers on your deck or on your front porch. Please go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over their website. You can see exactly where that new parking is and how to get to Little Baja. Thanks so much, Jared. It's great.
As always, thanks.
When we're in our gardens in the spring, it seems we see a lot of slugs and even snails. You know, the snails, it seems that we're seeing them more and more. They may look pretty, but they're doing the same damage that slugs do.
And if you have trouble identifying what that damage is, we have a couple examples. This is a hosta leaf, And it's that space right there in the middle that has clearly been chewed on by something. And even iris leaves can be attacked by them, either on the side or in the middle. Now, the reason they have holes in the middle is because, unlike humans and a lot of animals, we have a mandible jaw, which just simply means we can open and shut it, thus giving us the ability to talk. Slugs don't have that. They set on a leaf and they have a rasping jaw. So they do this, and eventually, just as you can see that damaging happening there, that's what happens when they put a hole in it. Now, we're showing you this damage on hosta and iris leaves, but if you see it on other plants, it's probably slugs and snails as well.
We are going to tell you about a wide range of products that will help you in your garden to get rid of these pests. The first one is by Bonide, and this is a product that contains metaldehyde or meta. So when you use this, you do have to be careful around pets and children. The way you apply this is just like you're using a shaker of salt around your garden. It's just a light sprinkling in and around the plants. Another product that we have is by Deadline, and there's a liquid and a granular. And so when you do use the liquid, you want to apply it by little drops. You don't want to over apply it because it will not let it be as effective. Also, when you're using the granular, again, you want to scatter it around the garden.
Now, if you're looking for something that's organic and more safe around pets and children, you might remember the name Sluggo. It's been around for several years now, and it is basically just iron phosphate. A lot of different names now have iron phosphate only, like Corey's, that's all iron phosphate. Espoma, it's a great product, but it's also iron phosphate. Bonide also has that kind of natural process as well, but they have done the job of adding spinosad, which will take care of like cinch bugs and cutworms and those pesky earwigs.
Well, I have a real organic method to use, which is using beer in a little container and put that just a little bit away from the plants. The slugs and snails will be drawn to it, they'll fall into the container, but they'll die happy.
Yeah, for a lot of us Pacific Northwesterners, that's just not an option.
Well, I have another method. You can use this copper tape. Now, this is just a little bit more expensive, but this is actually a barrier that you could put around a prize plant or a container. And the slugs and snails cannot go over it because they get an electrical shock and are shocked by it, and they'll drop off. And then the last and final method that we have today is using a piece of wood in the garden. And so check it the next day, the next morning, and if you flip it over, you'll find lots of slugs and snails kind of hanging out underneath it. You can use your pruners to either cut them in half or drop them into a soapy bucket of water, and that'll take care of them.
So for just a little bit of time and effort spent in your garden, you can take care of slugs and snails and keep your garden looking lovely all season long.
Subaru Garden Days returns to Capital Subaru in Salem. Join us for a day of food, fun, and garden excitement. Select garden vendors join William and Judy on the Parkway from 11 to 3. That's Subaru Garden Days, June 3rd at Capital Subaru. Your way on the Parkway.
2 stages, 25 shows, one sweet weekend. It's the 25th anniversary of the Oregon Jamboree, presented by Boulder Falls Inn, starring Jason Aldean, Little Big Town, Chris Jansen, Lauren Elena, Chase Rice, and on his farewell tour, Kenny Rogers. The Oregon Jamboree happening August 4th through the 6th. Tickets and camping on sale now at OregonJamboree.com.
Get this thing started, it's my kind of party.
Take the hard work out of yard work with the Leaf Hopper. The Leaf Hopper, the ultimate garden cleanup tool. Simply fill, fold, and funnel your yard debris away. It eliminates the back-breaking work of garden cleanup. When you are done, you can even use it to apply garden mulch in a precise area. Made from permeable material, it resists mold and mildew and folds away for easy storage. Get the Leaf Hopper at Quality Garden Centers or at easyhaultarp.com.
At Garland Nursery, you'll find
top quality plants,
4 generations of garden know-how,
fun and fantastic garden decor,
and the best in garden supplies.
Come visit us at Garland Nursery.
Since 1937, inspiring beautiful and bountiful gardens.
I am at Egan Gardens today with Ellen Egan. And Ellen, you know, there's so much buzz, sorry the pun, about pollinators and attracting them to our gardens. So what are you thinking of? And do we need 40 acres to do that?
No, bees have lost so much habitat that any little thing that everybody can do will help. So we can be careful to spray carefully, and we can plant lots of plants that they like. And so you can, if all you have is a porch, put a whole lot of pollinator plants in a very small space.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea.
So here's a planter that has Kufia. This is Kufia vermillionaire, and it's a wonderful hummingbird attractor, but bees love it too. Lantana attracts bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds, and it's beautiful. This little daisy, an osteospermum called voltage yellow, will be a great butterfly attractor, and the zinnias everything likes. In this planter here, which is the pink and purple people planter.
Because sometimes people don't like orange, but really, and our pollinators attracted to all colors, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, they say that they like yellow and orange, but I see the hummingbirds go to blue lobelia. I see the bees on purple salvia. So this is just plain old annual salvia.
Gorgeous.
Verbena. This lovely fragrant thing is Opal Innocence Nemesia.
I can smell it.
Oh,
really
it
nice.
just smells wonderful, and all the pollinators smell it and go to it. And heliotrope. This is a cute little short heliotrope called Merino Blue. If you were using the tall fragrant delight, you'd probably use that as a center plant, but merino can stay on the side.
Nice.
So you've got something to appeal to all kinds of pollinators and to the people who have them on their porch.
And then other rules that when we're putting containers together, can you give us a couple tips?
Oh, I like to use the whole spectrum of colors in every planter I make. I like to have the red, yellow, blue shades, or the pink, yellow, blue shades. I left the yellow out of the pink, purple.
Well, there's a little yellow in here, too, though.
If it's just too hot or it's just too cool, then to me it doesn't look balanced.
Right.
Unless you're an unbalanced personality and you like things unbalanced, in which case that's all right. And
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. And what about care? Are we watering them, fertilizing them? What about that?
Yes. First you start with a big pot. This is a 14-inch wide, 12-inch deep tub that has enough root room to support the plants. I use good quality potting soil. Make sure you don't pick up somebody's bargain soil that's just somebody's Christmas tree that got composted for a couple of months. And a good quality fertilizer. I recommend the Proven Winners brand, and we carry that here.
Nice. And then what about watering? And it's going to be really warm. We're finally getting into summertime.
Yeah. When plants are newly planted, they don't need nearly as much water as they will later on, and even though we're having a 90-degree day now, it's not going to stay that warm. By the time it's August, you're going to be watering every day, and on really hot days, a planter in the sun will probably need morning and evening watering. But for right now, probably once every other day on a big tub is going to be fine. So planters don't have to be that much care.
Right, right. They are really easy. Of course, of course. And they are really that easy. And you can come out to Egan Gardens, talk to Ellen and her staff, and you can see how easy it is, pick out lots of flowers, and really invite all those pollinators to your garden. Ellen, thanks for making it so easy.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, you know, it's a great time to get to your vegetable garden. And if you don't have a big plot, you can always use a raised bed. I'm with Donna from Black Gold. And Donna, you have a great idea for a raised bed. It's this smart pot, which is just instead of using wood, it's just another kind of
right. It's a fabric pot. This year, Judy, I decided with all the t-ball games and soccer games, and I actually want to go play golf, I wasn't going to do a big garden outside. And so I decided, let's do the Smart Pot raised bed this year. It's a fabric bed, and you can just move it wherever you want, plant it up, patio, or any concrete or any flat surface. It works well. It's fabric, so it breathes.
Oh, that is good. It drains?
And it drains really well. So what we're doing today is planting in here, and then with the Black Gold Organic, And I would have to say that if you did a raised bed, even if you have a raised bed already, make sure you put nutrients back in the soil every year for
Good
your
soil.
plants.
And I think that's the one tip to take away with you're using a wood raised bed or this cool fabric raised bed is you want good soil. And black gold, you have a couple different kinds. You have the natural and organic, or you also have the compost.
That's right.
To add if you've already done this last year.
Right, so if you want to go ahead and use last year's soil, but add some nutrients in it, use some garden compost or some soil conditioner in it, works really well. What we're using today is the natural and organic. There's no chemicals. It's all natural. It's OMRI listed. It's great for your veggies.
So Donna, with these smart pots, how many different sizes are there?
There's this big bed, and there's also the smaller ones here. We did the tomatoes and the peppers in it, and they also have one that you can do composting in.
Wow, that is good. So it's like a barrel.
It's like a barrel.
But made out of the fabric.
Made out of the fabric. And when the roots touch the sides, they air prune and they move back in. Rather than roots that would go around and around in the bottom of a pot, these here are going to be really nice, healthy roots. Be sure though, Judy, that we need to tell people, don't take soil out of your garden and throw it in here.
Right.
Use fresh potting soil to start out with. That's your best bet.
That is such a great tip, because if you use your old soil from the garden, it's not going to be porous enough, it's not going to drain well, your carrots are going to be stunted, those celeries we just planted are not going to grow well. So you really want to make sure that you use fresh soil, and black gold is a really good one. Yeah, and so really you don't take care of this any other different way than you would a raised bed in the garden.
Right.
Same thing, you want to water it, you want to make sure that it's taken care of. If there's a couple weeds, you pull those, add fertilizer if you need to do that, put it in a sunny spot, and you're really ready to go for the whole season.
It's a great thing, yes.
And we really can fit a whole bunch in here. I think this is a great little kind of raised bed. If you don't want to put a big one with 2x4s, you can do this one, and you're really going to have a great harvest this season.
Right, and they say these raised beds last 3 to 5 years in our climate.
Nice.
So it's a good investment. Hey, and Judy, there's a great deal right now on blackgold.bz, our website. You can get a mail-in rebate for $3 off the purchase of any $10 worth of black gold. And what you can do is you can use 3 per household this year, so you can actually get $9 back this year. So go on blackgold.bz and find the $3 back rebate.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about doing a garden, you haven't done it yet, there's really still time to get out there and put a veggie garden in. Go to your local independent garden store and get some starts to put in, and you're good to go for the rest of the season. Well, happy planting.
All right, thanks.
Nestled in the oaks of the Willamette Valley is a nursery that is truly exceptional. At Out in the Garden Nursery, you will find a vast array of shade plants, ornamental grasses, and hardy perennials. Let us help you bring color and texture into your garden. We offer over 100 types of perennials. Many of our plants are evergreen for year-round interest. Plus, we offer the best in personal attention. Out in the Garden Nursery, where we grow great gardens one plant at a time.
Subaru Garden Days returns to Capital Subaru in Salem. Join us for a day of food, fun, and garden excitement. Select garden vendors join William and Judy on the Parkway from 11 to 3. That's Subaru Garden Days, June 3rd at Capital Subaru. Your way on the Parkway.
Your center for home and garden decor, Garden Gallery Ironworks has everything you need to make your home a showcase. For the inside, we have a great selection of Kelly Ray Roberts items, and our farmhouse style department is full of one-of-a-kind gifts. For the outside, we have arbors, trellises, planting beds, and garden decor. Everything to make your neighbors jealous. Check out our new website and then come visit us in Hubbard. Garden Gallery Ironworks.
It's the Standard TV and Appliance store-wide sale going on now.
Huge price cuts on top brand appliances, mattresses, and 4K HD TVs. Get a Samsung front-load washer with steam, only $524. Or a counter-depth Samsung stainless steel French door, only $9.99. Save big on a stainless steel Maytag dishwasher, only $449. Plus, get a Beautyrest Queen mattress for just $398.
Hurry, the store-wide sale ends Monday. Standard TV and Appliance.
Color, color, color. When you think of your garden, think of color. Then think of Margie's Farm and Garden. High quality plants and great customer service are our trademark.
This Saturday, come in for our succulent classes at 10, 11, and 12. The classes are free. Bring in your own container or pick up one of ours.
Vegetables or herbs, hanging baskets or perennials, trust Margie's Farm and Garden, just off I-5 near Aurora.
Well, I am in a beautiful garden today, but we're not talking about plants right now. I am with Kate, and she is from a company called Moxie and Moss Workwear. And so what is workwear?
Well, workwear is this new apparel line that I'm developing with two other women, business partners. We're starting with this pant I'm wearing. It's our signature product called the Maven. It is a denim work pant for women. And we've been designing it to have essentially all of the function and the durability and the capability that you look for in a classic workwear pant in terms of pocketing and the durability, reinforced knees and so forth, the stretch and the movement that you need for physical and creative jobs. But it also has a lot of fashion built into it. It's a contemporary style. We've thought a lot about how the butt looks and how it works on women's bodies. It's three women that have come to this. I have a background and a business in garden design, and just in the process of doing that over a couple of years, feeling frustrated with the lack of choices for women in workwear. And so between my other partner, who's a great designer and is very artistic and is petite herself and could never really find what she needed, and another good friend who is one of our clients who has a long history in apparel development, we pretty much started to sit down around our kitchen table and figure out how to make better workwear for women. This is the beginning, but we hope to develop numerous products, whether it's outerwear or accessories, just more options for women on the market that combine the best of function and fashion.
Well, you know, just being a gardener, and so you're out in the yard and you wanna do this or that, and it's like, oh, they're falling down, or I don't feel comfortable, I'm showing too much.
Exactly.
What a great way to kind of talk to women, the three of you yourselves, but then in the website that you have, you've talked to other women too, and other trades.
We've spent really a lot of time refining this product and our whole design approach to our business. At this point, we've field tested the pant on about 50 women, and they're certainly not only gardeners. They range across chefs, women in film, makeup artists, teachers. Essentially, it's for women that have things to do, are on their feet, have multiple tools, want to be able to have a phone on their body that's easily available, but you know, also that looks good enough that you don't feel you have to run home and strip it off after you've been doing your physical job.
Right.
You like the way you look, and you're okay continuing on in your, you know, social parts of your day, familial, volunteer work, the other hats that women wear. So a pant that could really kind of go through a woman's entire day.
Yeah, so how many times I've been in the garden, it's like, uh-oh, I better go to the grocery store because I forgot things for dinner. And you don't have to go in and change. You just kind of brush yourself out, and you just look, you do look nice going to those places.
Thank you. Yeah, so we spent a lot of time working with a lot of women and trying to get feedback on sort of the styling and the design and the functionality, and just really listening to what women need in their days. And so the website is where we feature a lot of those women. They really are a remarkable part of our community now. We're getting feedback from them, and the website is really the jumping off point for where you can find the products and direction for where we're going to go in the future once we've started to sell this pant. Wanting to really hear from potential customers about other things that they're looking for in their workwear wardrobe.
So tell us, what is the website?
It is www.moxieandmoss.com. Moxie and Moss is actually the original name of our garden design business.
Oh, great.
And Moxie and Moss Workwear was a natural way to sort of describe the apparel that we're making for women who are in creative trades and other, physical type work.
Definitely. Well, you heard it from one of the designers and one of the gardeners. I mean, it's field tested. So if you have any other questions, please go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over there and get all the information, and maybe go try a pair of those pants. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
We want to thank Schreiner's Iris Gardens for letting us hang out today. And don't forget, we'll be here on Monday listening to wonderful music and seeing all the beautiful flowers.
We also wanted to remind you that next Saturday, June 3rd, is Subaru Garden Days at Capital Subaru on the Parkway in Salem.
And for more information about Subaru Garden Days or anything you saw on today's show, please go to gardentime.tv.
Thanks for spending time with us today. We'll do it again next week, right here on Garden Time.
proceeding was a paid program of the Gustin Creative Group and its sponsors.